pens.
Subjugate the dub play.
And you know we can't wait to bring spins.
A-star quizzes, A+ the final.
Vocals we align, we'll move it all
simultaneously over joints we rock.
We earn
30 years so you can say we got
3 turns.
Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men.
We install doubt in you and your yes men.
And if the game had veins, we'll insert
upheaval the ground.
Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. We're leaving the kings of all crowns. So are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all, peak flow.
But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
What you talking about? Space out your mind.
But can you rock it like rockets,
That's
fool?
a close encounter of what kind?
Ready, set, stay back.
Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Turn it up, y'all, peak flow.
Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, we giving the show.
But can you rock it like rocket
What you
fuel?
talking about? Space out your mind.
But can you rock it like rockets,
That's a close
fool?
encounter of what kind?
Ready, set, stay back.
But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
Coach, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to a sold-out and absolutely rock.
Yeah.
They check it to 10.
Hey, yeah, okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Hey. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Hand on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket. No change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a matching. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment.
Coach, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to a sold-out and absolutely rocking Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Ready? Yellow waiting.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On second down, it's Coleman. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front three, your front four, your front five, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down.
Go.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And on a stage of this magnitude, the conference championship, so many early game jitters can happen, so that score is a big relief to a coach.
Yeah, no one wants to mention that in the locker room before the game. No one says, hey, listen, don't fumble or don't do this because you don't want negative thoughts. That's why getting off to a good start is so huge for everyone. The first score in the conference title game, massive.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They'll need to come from behind if they want to play in 2 weeks, as they trail early in this NFC Championship game. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
At the 41-yard line.
Here we go. Waiting. Watch QB drop.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here. On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him. And that will force a turnover on downs.
5-9.
Yeah. Out. He's coming. We got double up. Switch.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Okay, Brady, I'll see you.
He was brought down by Kamu Grugier-Hill.
Ready?
57 to 5 at the 45-yard line.
And down inside the 40 to about the 38. The keeper gets him 7 that time, but it'll lead to a 3rd down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a 1st down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Coleman, and a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down now, it's Coleman, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 10-yard touchdown run, and the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early, give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. Wentz now to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here 1st and 10.
You ready? It's our time. It's our time.
On 1st down, Coleman. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the Eagles.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Okay, let's get sack lunch. Kill.
On second down, it's Coleman, and he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert, but right now looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're
you don't
down.
Want to.
No, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Wentz. And that's complete to Jeffrey. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Now Sanders. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Let's go, D.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And Jeffrey's got it. And this is good for a first down, his 2nd grab of this NFC Championship bout.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's Wentz to throw, and lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now a carry for Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. And the kick by Elliott is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Saints take over first and 10.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And a reminder, folks, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report coming up shortly. The coach with us, as always, and he will start to look ahead to Super Bowl 53. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Brees going to throw. And that will be incomplete. They had points on their first 2 possessions, a touchdown and a field goal, but this time, defense stands strong.
Would you say that things maybe are trending now in the right direction for them?
Better than drives 1 and 2.
There's no doubt about it. Now maybe they can exhale a little bit, gather themselves, and really get back into this game.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw, it's Wentz. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Marcus Davenport just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down at 17. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick, and the return stops at the 39-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Now Brees. And Thomas has it. And he's taken down inside the 30. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Break it down, fellas. Break it down. Coming after you. 61. Matchbox lights.
On 1st down, Brees. It's caught. Smith. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Check, check, check. 11. 21st.
Now Brees. Flush to his right. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Hey, orbit. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch it out.
Throwing again is Hill. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Results in a 4th down.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first, this one from 38. And Lutz's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
That'll be taken in the end zone. So we've reached halftime. Who will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl? 2 more quarters to go. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half. Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Sunday. Right 52. Here we go.
Right back to Sanders on first down. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the Saints' 36-yard line.
120. Hey, watch the leg.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll go again with Sanders, and this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And it'll be intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Target. You're good. Line 4, ready. 6-6, pull it.
Right back to Coleman here on 1st down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Ready. Yellow lady. You killed. Get wrong. Check. X3. 218.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. To throw, it's Breeze. Open man is Michael Thomas. Then he will finally be taken down, but how about that play? It's a big one on the final act of the 3rd quarter. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. So he got 3 of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
Yellow lady.
They will run again with Coleman. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now they'll run. Murray able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They run with Murray. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he'll hit Jeffrey, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now he's flushed out left. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Again, it's Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Wentz to throw for it on 4th. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Now Wentz to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. From 6 yards away. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Now a give right side, Coleman. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, I'm guessing that on the sidelines there might be a few words said about that mistake there, but I don't think it's going to hurt them in the long run. They're still going to get out of here with a win.
Yeah, they got the 2-score cushion, but you know what coaches say, Charles? Finish strong.
Finish the game out the way it's supposed to be played. In fact, coaches might be secretly happy. Gives them a chance to do a little extra coaching next week.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Wentz going to throw. It's caught by Aguilar. Philadelphia picking up the 1st on a gain of 15.
A gain of 15. And an Eagle 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Wentz to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Intended for Deshaun Jackson. Incomplete. Marshawn Lattimore there defensively.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Wentz on the give to Sanders. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
A gain of 6 yards. And it's 3rd.
Charles, let's focus for a second on the losing side. In a couple months, they may look back and say, wow, it was a great season. But right now, I guarantee they're feeling no sugarcoating on this one.
And you can already see the T-shirts at training camp next year, can't you? Unfinished business. Because they've got to find a way to motivate these guys to go through all the same pain, right? All the same tough stuff, and find their way back and give themselves a chance to win this game again next year.
And that'll close the books on the conference championship. For Charles Davis, myself, Brandon Gaudin, and our entire crew, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks from the Super Bowl.
Slide on with it. Better see me now on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go be